to the power of our mind, into the power of being resourceful, into the power of also being okay with the slow motions of life and welcoming in the flow of the unknown. There's so much noise to having to be everywhere. And I've talked about this previously on the podcast. You do not need to be everywhere on social. You can decide not to be on social, or you can decide to be on social on the platform, one platform or two platforms that your clients are at. You do not have to have a business like me. You don't have to do all the things that I do. You get to have a business that works for you, not that you work for it. And so with that, I wanted to welcome this new season 2 of flourishing into the unknown, flourishing into being more resourceful and more intentional with everything that we do. And in today's episode, we're going to be really tapping into our mind, into the power of our words, and the power of intentionality in business and in life. And that's what this episode is going to be about. And with that, let's tap into this. Being more intentional is so important. So I'm going to share with you where all this stemmed from. I am on TikTok, and I went on this challenge because somebody said that we should be posting 3 times on TikTok to grow. And that, to grow on TikTok, you should be posting like pretty much what you post on stories on Instagram is what you should be, the content that you should be posting on TikTok. And that made sense to me. So I challenged myself. I was going to do it for a month of posting 3 times a day. And yesterday I decided that I was done with that because I learned very valuable lessons that I'm going to be sharing with you in today's episode. So did I grow on TikTok from posting 3 times a day? Yes, I did. But I'm not sure that it was really... But I grew in different ways. So first of all, in regards to followers, I grew like 25 more followers in the, few weeks. I didn't do months. Few weeks that I went 3 times a day. My email list did grow tremendously. It probably doubled. So that did work out very well. My income did grow as well, but not substantial enough for me to be like, I need to post 3 times a day or TikTok. So that's why I decided to stop that. And for some of you, that'll be great. For some of you, that makes no sense why I would stop something that's helping my email list grow. And it's because like, if I'm posting 3 times a day, right? Just on TikTok, okay? Plus all the other platforms I'm on. What message am I really sending? Or I started thinking, I'm like, how am I being intentional with this? Then the followers are going to want me to post 3 times a day. And that's not really aligned with my life, and that's not really aligned with my business. It's easy to do, but do I really want to do that? And no, Celeste does not want to do that. And that's where the power of intentionality comes in. I think we have this year for sure. We should be more mindful and more intentional in what are we sharing? What are we posting on social? I know there's this big push on Instagram right now, like grow on Instagram and grow followers and grow your income and the $100,000 thing, and maybe it's like, that's my ego maybe talking because, we have a combined income of way over that. So maybe that's my ego talking, but I'm still just a human. I'm still just Celeste. I still live in a rented condo because, we got outbid on 2 of our houses. If you haven't learned about that one, we were trying to buy a house. Then we got outbid. I was sad, but it wasn't meant for us, So now we're looking at renting a home, and with intentionality, which we're going to be tapping more about in the business side of it. First, I want to start with the mind and life part of it. We've been looking at these homes, right? So we're going to be renting a 4-bedroom home. Because I miss our own space and I miss living in a house. I do not like living in apartments or complexes. Like, it's just not my vibe. And I've been very intentional with the energy around it. And my kids and my husband were laughed at me at first. But now they're being very intentional with what is the atmosphere and vibe that the house is giving us that we want to rent to be our home for the next year. because for sure next year we are buying our home. But it's probably going to be more of a dream home that we're going to end up buying instead of just a house for next year. So we're being really intentional, right? What's the energy? And I want to share with you this story. We went to this house. It was in like the perfect location and everything. It was like, it was 3 bedrooms. We wanted 4, but it was 3 bedrooms and it had an office and, spacious and was big and had, it was just like, the right house, right? Like according to the book. But the energy in that house was so off. I was drained. Like I was like energetically drained and I just felt off inside of there. And I remember my son, then afterwards went to go pick up my son. My son is like, "What's wrong with you, Mom? You look sick or like sad. What's wrong?" I'm like, "Oh no, honey. We went to go look at this house, but honey, something felt off. And I'm sorry. I know Daddy really wanted a house for us to live in and rent, but I don't feel the energy in there." And so that started this whole spiral with my family of the energy of our house. And they went to go see a home without me on Saturday, where we may be moving into. We put in an application, so we'll see. And then there's this other second home that we're looking at as well this week to potentially move into, which is more out in the country and more our vibe as well. It's smaller, but it's cozier, and it has more of a vibe that we're also looking for. And so we're going with this whole energy transaction to finding the next place we're going to live for the next year that is a home. And I'm sharing that because in regards to business and social is that where's the power of intentionality? Like we're allowed to grow and morph and have this metamorphosis as a butterfly, from a cocoon to a butterfly, to be different and to change our minds. And I wanted to share that with you today because with so much noise everywhere, especially right now, it's important that we start tapping more back into our intention with our business, our intention when we're posting. Like, who are we posting for? Are we posting for our ego? Are we posting out of fun? Are we posting because it's something that we like to do? Or are we posting because the world and everybody else is telling us that that's the right thing to do and that's what makes you successful? And is that truly real? Do you know, if you make a post today, if you went right now and you put a post out, how many bookings do you get from that post? Do people reach out to you to book you if you do that? Or is it working opposite for you? I want to share a second story with you. So I boosted 2 posts because I wanted to see, yes, it did grow some of my following, but as you know, if you're new to the podcast, welcome. It's not about following. It's about, the income and impact that I create with things. It's not just followers. I mean, I know we've heard stories, people who have millions of followers and can sell nothing for $1. So it's not about the following, right? It's really about what impact and, so bringing income and the things that you're wanting out of it. So I posted a post, and I got more followers and things. And, that's cool. But I started to think again, what's the intention with this? So I'm putting this out there. I don't like ads. Do I really click on ads? No. I like when I come upon like freebies or like really cool quotes or like really cool things. But I'm like, I don't really post, like those kind of things. And then I started thinking about my clients and how they book me and what actually creates the bookings. And it's this certain type of post that I do, I know gets me bookings. Like anytime I do that kind of post and it's not salesy, it does not say DM me to book. They don't respond to that. My clientele doesn't. My audience doesn't. The ones that book me, they don't. They don't like DM to book or contact me or email me. Like they don't like none of that stuff. There's certain type of posts that they want from me in order to book me. And now knowing that it's usually not my most popular post, I'm being honest with you. It's not the most trending post, but it's what they like that makes them click the button and book me. And with that lesson, last week, I started doing more of what actually gets me clients and gets me bookings. And it's not what's popular on Instagram. And it has nothing to do with growing my following. It doesn't do that for me. It just brings the business in for me and the income in for me. And the reason why I'm sharing this and I'm being transparent with you today, as I am every time, is that I invite you this March, as trees are blooming, the flowers are starting to grow, and everything's starting to change in color, that you start seeing your business as a business, and give yourself the opportunity of not being popular but being profitable in your business and doing more of that. Be intentional with your energy, be intentional with your posting, and be intentional with where are your clients actually finding you at. More than just picking up a trend. I get clients from Pinterest that may not work for you, and that's okay. But it does work for me and for my business, and it also helps grow my email list. I don't run ads on Pinterest. I just don't. I've been thinking about it, but I've done everything organically. So I'm like, why am I going to run ads if I'm getting so much things organically? And that is the part that I wanted to share with you today, that being intentional and being mindful with what we do is so important, right? So if you're feeling, because just for me, like, I don't know, maybe it's, and I've been cleaning up my Instagram as well, who I follow and everything. There's so much of like, do this and do that and more of this, and and like be controversial and make people like, you solve a problem and talk to them about their pain points, talk about people's pain, and pain sells, and it's like, that's not in alignment with me. I'm like, it's not about pain sells. It's about like educating people so that they avoid that, and if they have a problem, I could potentially help you. But the choice is yours. It's the client's choice, right? And it's the intentionality that behind what we put out. It's so important now more than ever. So I just invite you in regards to your posting to be really intentional with that, and to really focus on the actions that are actually bringing in income and clients to your business. Sometimes fun things can look like a lot of fun, but is it bringing in business? I don't know. Sometimes different things can look like really cool and things, but is it going to bring in a lot of business, or is it like the little things that you do that really are not popular are bringing in business, and you're ignoring them because it's not what's trending or it's not what's fun. So really focus on what grows your business. Part number 2, in regards to this season 2 of intentionality, I wanted to talk about like the importance of putting your happiness and your meaning of success first. So important. Last year was my biggest year of growth. Like, it was huge. A lot of it had to do with putting what made me happy, finally realizing, because it took a lot of work. It was not freaking fairy dust. Like, everybody makes it sound like it's so easy and flawless. No, like, this was hard work. I didn't know how much being a mom means to me. I did not understand how much my kids, I don't want them to be like me. I don't want them to do shit for me. Like, I want them to be their own humans. But how much they're like, them being safe and them being happy, like with little things that I do, really means the world to me. And having control of control of my time and of what I do is like the most important thing in my life for me. It's not about having big houses and cars. And if you're into that, good for you. It's not about all this crazy stuff or luxury trips. Like, it's about being with them. It's about being able to spend time with them and do the things I've never been able to do. And when I put my happiness first, and I know that it may sound counterintuitive, but I want to share with you today in the podcast. When you put your happiness first, it's beautiful how your business and your life grows from that. So much more than when you're in like the hustle and bustle of making things forcefully trying to make them work. By putting my children's needs first, and then, I put my business second. So I had to put everything around my kids, schedule and everything. At first, it felt foreign, and I felt like I was broken. I felt like maybe I wasn't going to be worthy of my success or my blessings, and my business was going to crash and burn. That's what I thought. I'm like, oh, well, nobody talks about like it's okay to be like this, right? And some people do, but they're at a different level, so they wouldn't understand me, is what I thought. When I did that, everything's starting to be more intentional. And the power of intentionality is that there's power behind that too, because you are happier and you're giving even a bigger energy exchange and bigger output to what you're doing, because there's passion and there is intentionality behind it. You're actually looking forward to doing that. If you ask me to do short haircuts every single day I go to work, I would be crying. And it probably wouldn't be the best, because it's not a skill that I have. It's not something I'm super strong at. And it's not something I like to do. I do not like the feeling of the, barber, like, the machine. I just don't, of the clippers. I just don't like the feeling of it. I have it's like a texture thing. I don't know. It's weird. I do not like it. Like, it freaks me out. And so, and you could probably hear in my sound of my voice, right? I'm like, no short haircuts. That's the power of intentionality. So I think it's so important that we're more intentional with our business. And when I started putting my happiness first and working around my schedule and working around my children's needs, I have a child, she has special needs, and she goes to 2 appointments a week. And, like, my husband needs to work too, and I need to work, but I have more flexibility. So the one who gets to take her is me. And most of the time, and he helps me when he can. When I put her needs first, and now that I can see, like, she's talking more, it's such a beautiful thing. And I know it may sound silly to you, but to have a child that can't really express himself, and then they start flourishing, and you start hearing them say words that you can understand, and sentences that make sense, and see that their confidence starts growing. That is the most beautiful gift as a mother and as a human, knowing that putting their needs first mattered and made a huge difference in their life and who they are as a little person. And when the business and everything else flourished and opportunities came up, which I have an episode with a special interview guest for this month, really talking and diving deeper into that, everything transformed. The moment that I decided that I was going to put my happiness first and allow my business to be the business I needed it to be for my lifestyle and for my life, and allowing the business to morph into like this whole new thing, and to allow it to change and pivot, because I'm a different person than who I was a year ago, 5 years ago. I have grown and evolved, and I'm okay with that I'm not like everybody else. The moment that we allow ourselves to step into our higher self, which people keep talking about, the highest self, but people don't tell you about stepping into your higher power, into your higher self, into the next version of yourself, is that it's going to require you to do something different. And it's going to feel weird, and it's going to feel off, and you're going to feel a little bit like, are you broken? Are you weird? Like, what's going on? Like, nobody else is doing this. But it's going to feel so good to you. And you'll get to a moment in your path as you start making your business work for you and you're not working for it, that you feel in alignment and you feel so happy to have the life that you have. I never wanted to be 100% stay-at-home mom. It's just not who I am. Shout out to all my stay-at-home moms. It's the hardest job you'll ever do. I swear it's harder than having a 9 to 5 or working like 12-hour days at the salon. Being a full-time stay-at-home mom is super freaking hard. I'm a part-time stay-at-home mom and part-time work. And I love that. Like, that's the perfect balance for me. And I had to be okay accepting my truth, that it wasn't all in work and it wasn't all in home. It was a blend of the two, and the blend looks a little different than it does for everybody else. And I had to be okay with my truth, and I had to be okay that I wasn't going to be posting all the time, and I had to be okay that my content is not all about work, and I'm not the salon all the time, and I don't align or feel the same things other people feel that are in the salon all the time or have the lifestyle they choose. My kids choose not to be soccer kids. They're not into soccer, and that's okay. I'm not a soccer mom, and I don't, I'm not mad at any soccer moms. I don't discourage any soccer moms, but it's just not my lifestyle. And I had to be okay that I wasn't a soccer mom, because it was so ingrained in me that was part of being a successful parent, right? It's your kids are in sports that makes you successful. But who says that being with them and giving them love and attention and talking to them about their day and picking them up from school or dropping off at school doesn't make you successful as well? And that doesn't have its own merit as well. And that's where I really want to talk about this. We talked to season number 2 on the podcast, really tapping more into intentionality, into the mindfulness, into the power of our life, and really start truly taking the power back into make that business work for your lifestyle. You do not have a whole lifestyle that revolves around work. Is that you get to, this is your life and you get to choose how you live it. You chose the business, you chose this career. Most of us got into this business to have freedom of time. And it's crazy how we get lost because of the pressures and what success means. And it gets so ingrained in us that we have to be in it full time and that it has to be on, it has to succeed, and it has to look like everybody else's when it really does not. Please use my own story, use my mobile salon, use the way I do things to encourage you to be your true unique self so that you can grow, so that you can have more glow and ease in your life. Simplicity and ease doesn't mean that it's without heartache, that's without tears. I truly believe that in business, it's not one road for everybody. I feel like everybody has their own road and journey, how they get to their final destination. And I'm allowing myself to morph. I'm allowing myself to change. And I'm allowing myself to say, hey, we need to tap more into the mind part of business. It takes pivoting. I wouldn't be here today with this podcast. I wouldn't be here today talking to you and sharing my knowledge and expertise. I wouldn't have been able to do that Pinterest TV episode. It's insane to me. I was intentional about it. I was like, I want to do something fun, something that I would do with my clients, something that I would give to them for education for free. It did so well. It got over like 112,000 views now. It's insane to me. It's organic on Pinterest from that episode. And it happened because I had intentionality behind it. I believe in my heart of hearts. That's why it did so well. And that's why I wanted to do this podcast episode today and begin this new season on the podcast on the power of intentionality of our mind, of being able to do hard things even when we think we're not capable of. I have a high school diploma. I have an iPhone and I have a ring light and my laptop. That is as high tech as Celeste gets. And that's how I've been able to do all this up to this point. It has been intentionality. And I wanted to tap to this new season of the podcast, really tapping more into our intentionality and the power behind us being happy about what we do, the power of doing things that we actually love to do versus just what's monetary, and the power of doing things because it brings us joy versus what's in it for me. Not everything in life is transactional. Some stuff is for fun. Not everything in life has to be shared on social. There's so much of my life that's not shared on social or the podcast because it's for me. Not every happy moment or special moment needs to be shared with everybody. You get to choose who you share that with and who your everybody is. So I welcome you into this new season, into this new March energy, which I can just feel the shift of energy, like we're all getting ready to go, whether it's wedding season, whether it's hair season. For me, I've been really busy with like hair treatments because my clients know it is that time to get the hair treated, to put in some health and trim in the old ends of their hair. So trim all the stuff that no longer serves you so that you can make room for the new. And with that, I did want to end this episode letting you know there are some free resources for you. I have free resources on my Instagram. You can go to Celeste Stylist. I have it there. Or you can go on celestestylist.com. And I have lots of resources for beauty pros. There is a Pinterest free guide. There is a mobile salon free guide. There is some Canva free templates. There is a journaling free e-journal book that you can go ahead and have access to. And this is just free resources that are always there available for you. They're free of charge. And it's just because I wanted to let you know, because I know a lot of you don't know I have free resources for you. There's lots of amazing also episodes on Pinterest on here. So utilize this podcast. There's so much amazing knowledge and information that you can hear me from my beginnings of where I was in 2018 to where I'm at now, how I got into 2023 and the whole journey. It's all journaled for you, and I've shared it authentically with you. So I hope that's super helpful. And I'm so excited for this new upcoming podcast this week, which is going to be with Holly. We're going to be talking about true community over competition and the power behind social, the power behind connection and being genuine and being real and helping one another out. So I'll see you back here this week. So much love. See you next time.